Tajigai Law. Good afternoon, everybody. We are coming to you live from the Haida Nation. Uljat Anga, Kilslay Anga, Deeth Tafilan Koya Isis Dungwad Lechan Gauhu Kilaga. Gedet Gutslias Hanudi Ki Gaga, Di Kai Halanas Joth Gedin G de Gaga. Gaslai Ganga Kula. Tawagawas Guraki Kawananga. Good afternoon, chiefs and matriarchs and our good friends. My name is Gidet Gutslius, Kim Gottsinger. I'm honored to be the chair of the Haida Nations Culture and Language Committee. I am of the Joth Kai Chalanis Eagle clan. Gaslai Lonnie Young is our chief, and Awagawas Pat Gillerman Daukindias also is our clan matriarch. My family is the late Ada and Bill Jovanovich, and I mentioned our chief is Lonnie Young. Our chief before him, our hereditary chief, was the late Watson Price, and before him was the late Solomon Wilson, and before him was the late Chief Isaac Wilson, and before him was the late Captain John. So it is my honor to be here today on this sad day to honor our children who were found. We have an outline of today as I welcome all of you to join in here and share our deepest condolences. We have an opening prayer by my sister Guaganut, followed by a presidential address, a address, and then if Willie Russ is on, a poem from him, and a prayer from our beautiful Merle, and a song from Vern. And we'll see how it goes. If there's anything else we can add, we're open. So Hawa, over to you, Guaganut.
Hawa, just ask everyone to come together in our minds and our hearts on this, trying to cope with this very disturbing news. So we could come together in prayer. Sa'lana kunang itkhairas. Mahayat singay skaurigidanga fakil. Tao ginawadlokan itki istagiga. Again daw ginawadlokan unsit. Again sanit kunisi. Kilstaka guyo. Tawang ichtitsi dag we again gay gano hokan ant ang khaining adi. Dan wakan guys kaudi gyur kill goatstoga. Oh, kinadarangat ang kudangan. Ikit lang koyas udad kihagan 215 skujido kristagan kang lakanya kudang katiskan kaya ngay kanut kanya kudang ilaw kloy kitlang koyas to istagan dan wakano Uyaqlan waluhan ki waluhan slaifa ki jigit salana gunit khairas. Again, dankan ka au galang at khat galang kayu qafndait lana ku ijihan kodang hu ultrahun waluhan ulkawqaqitkan ahoye tu qafndait lana ku waluhan khanjuda. Again, the Kamloops Khaidrayasan Dankan Kudan Dagui Athalagi Wadluhan Istilko Asikatikas Enhano Daguia Gatakadl Juice Daguia Way Kilhi Bunga Uan Khaidarai Hayatu Wadluhan Itkan Kadl Ju Guys need to hangate Wadluhan Slaifagi Jigit Wadluhan Ka Kudan Daguia Lagi Istako Again Ginaya Igui Dawan Wadluhan the Dangdl Dawi Kilhi Ranga Daho Gina Wadluhan Itki Istagigang Dan Han Itkitlang Koya Daskigang Gaira Gino Asitman Klachiga Kutstoga It Kunisi It Wadluhan Gitlatlora Again Kamut Guga Khairais Skies Nintakangela Creator, we thank you for today. We thank you for your wisdom. We thank you for the gifts we have received from you, our ancestors, because a small number of you were strong enough to come through the smallpox. Because of that small group of ancestors, that's why we're all alive here today. I say Hawa to those ancestors with all the respect. Also, our ancestors, we have heard very disturbing news from Kamloops. 215 of our precious children were found. They were unceremoniously together under a building. Animals were treated better. So we need help to deal with this. We need you to hold our hands and to give us strength. I ask that this meeting here is our leaders of our nation. I ask that you hold all of their hands, give all of them strength and peace, and show them the way to deal with this. Help us all to deal with this in a good way. Anger won't help us. We ask that you be with the people in Kamloops where they found the children. We ask that you be with them and their leaders. Give them strength and peace. And we pray that our caring and love can be felt by them. So for all these things, Creator and our ancestors, we say Hawa.
Oh, so much Guaganut. We really, really appreciate you. You've been a stronghold for us always. And we continue to stand together with this acknowledgement today. For those of you who are tuning in, we are doing honoring the children who were found in Kamloops. And you just heard an opening prayer from Waganut, Diane Brown. And we'll move on to a message from our president of the Haida Nation, Gagwis, Jason Osant.
Hawa Guaganut for the prayer, and Hawa Gidat Gutslias for the introduction. Koljut Gonga, Kilsly Gonga, Dista Halankoya Isis, Haidalas Isis, Gagwis, Hanu di Krikaga. Hi, ladies and chiefs, good friends, good people. I'm Gagwis, Jason Elsop, the president of the Haida Nation. I want to say Hawa, everybody, for joining us today and coming together to honor the 215 Indigenous children found at the Kamloops Residential School. We, on behalf of the Haida Nation, our chiefs, our elders, our council, our village councils, all the people of Haida Gwaii, we send our deepest condolences, our thoughts and prayers to the Kamloops people and all the families and relatives of those little ones whose lives were taken in such a gruesome way, and as our elder said, unceremoniously buried and never put to proper rest. And today we honor them. Today we honor all the survivors and all the lives that have been lost in the residential school system in Canada. We know that this is just one school and it's not an isolated incident. And I hold my hands up to all the leaders across Canada who've continued to call for action, and all the survivors who've been telling the stories of the young ones who were lost and buried in secret, and their stories and their legacies denied. I know this is a very difficult time for all Indigenous people, especially our survivors of residential school, the families in all nations, as we're all interconnected in the trauma of the residential school system and the genocide that occurred in Canada affects us all. This is a a special time in many ways, not because of this happening, but because the truth is being exposed, and the truth is being shared, and the truth has become public, and across Canada, the truth is now out there. We see it not only in the news across Canada, but across the world. We see all the different ways that these 215 children are being honored on social media. And this is a true test of reconciliation. First, acknowledging the truth that there wasn't simply a cultural genocide in this country, but this country is founded upon a genocide. And we call upon all of the governments, all levels of government in Canada to act in upholding the truth and uncovering the truth. With this technology, we know now that we can look at other places and confirm the stories of our survivors and continue to expose that truth, which helps us confront the dark history of this country and helps us in healing from that trauma. Our territories were taken in this process of the loss of life, not only through the residential school system and the separation of our people from our communities and our culture, but also the other diseases and pandemics and epidemics our people have encountered. So this is an important time of recognizing that truth, of acknowledging it, and working together at all levels of government, working with Indigenous nations, recognizing the title of Indigenous nations and the need for us to be able to confront this dark history and heal together as a country. We all come together in many ways. We've come together when we've lost other young people, the young hockey players. We've come together in other times of tragedy, and this is a time for the people of Canada to come together. Indigenous people are hurting across this country, and they need your support. They need allies. They need space. We need abilities to continue to heal and connect with each other in our territories and come together as nations. And this is such a important time that we all listen, and within our communities that we reach out to those survivors in our community, and we listen to the stories, and we offer our ear, and we offer our support, and we hold each other up. When our Kilsly Dunsu, Jim Hart raised the reconciliation poll at UBC, many Indigenous people came out, and in that, before raising the poll, they had opportunities to put a copper nail into the poll to symbolize the lives of those who were lost in the Indian residential school system. And over 6,000 copper nails were hammered into that reconciliation poll. So we know many young people were not only lost at the schools, but many never made it home as they ran away. They left to go try to make their way back home, back to their family, back to their community, and back to their nation, and they never made it. So we're just scratching the surface of the real truth here. And it's a really important time that Canadians confront that truth and support your Indigenous neighbors and the territories that you live upon, those territories that you acknowledge in your opening speeches, the unceded territories, the treaty territories. They're not just words. It's time for action. It's time for allyship. And it's time to hold your governments accountable, to honor all of the lives lost across Canada, the Indigenous children, and to push for that recognition of our title and our rights and our healing together for our Indigenous people and together with Canadians. And so I'm just grateful for everybody who's come out today to honor those young children. And I know this is a very triggering and difficult time, and many of us just can't even fathom thinking about our own children, nieces, nephews, grandchildren going through something like this. And it's stirring up a lot of things, and we really need to hold each other up and bring light to one another at these difficult times. And so on behalf of the Haida Nation, I just want to again extend our love and condolences and support to the people in the Kamloops and to all Indigenous people, all the Haida people, all the survivors of the Indian residential school system who are hurting today and are going to continue to hurt. And that those who can please support and hold each other up and help each other heal at these difficult times. Hawa to our elders today for being with us in prayer, and to all the young people, it's a time to step up and support. And together we can all move through this and bring light to one another. Hawa, take care.
Hawa Gagwis, president of the Haida Nation. I'll just ask if, oh great, I see William Russ there. William has a poem to share with all of us. William, if you could.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I wrote this poem today after a meeting we had. I work for a company called Haida Child and Family Services, and we help our people here in the community. And we had a meeting about the circumstances that are happening, and I couldn't help but to just let all of my tears fall in that meeting. I thought I had cried enough in my lifetime, but something like this, it's just so shocking revelation, that we all know is true, and we all sense that it was there. And I just needed to write something. I needed to get something. I needed to get it off my chest. I've spent the last 4 weeks just learning about different traumas, people's things that they've gone through, and it's been really heartbreaking and saddening. And so I just needed to write something, about our experience, about what we feel as Aboriginal people. There's something there that, we can't see it, you can't really sense it, smell it, but it's there, and it's like a weight. And so this is a poem that I had written this afternoon, or just before lunch. And I want to thank Valley and Chris for asking me to recite this poem. And so this is just what I was feeling, what needed to come out of me in terms of my own healing. So bear with me as I read it. It doesn't even have a title. I just wrote it today, but I want everybody to hear and to feel, our experience, not just Aboriginal people, but everybody, to know the things that we've gone through, the things that we've had to fight through. And so thank you. It's like a weight, an unseen shadow, like gravity is a little bit stronger for us. Looking over your shoulder to see if you're being followed, but nothing is there. like stone ribs holding up the entire island. An unseen darkness. It's there for all of us. We don't quite understand it, but we feel it. It blankets all of us, invisible shackles. Hate blows all around us like the wind, whether it's from self or others. The great sadness is that this is normal to us. The unbearable weight of being survivors is thrown in our faces every day. Guilt is projected at us as contempt, spit in our faces or at our feet for being who we are. Followed in stores, children still being taken, ripped to pieces, but expected to be normal. The pain is palpable, like walking in the mud and trying to keep up to everybody else. We were destroyed. You succeeded. Broken people, shells of their former selves are everywhere. Fathers robbed of their manhood, mothers robbed of their love. We were never like this before the colonial invasion. You thought we spoiled and loved our children too much. So you killed them, killed our families, killed our heritage, killed our spirit, starved our souls and our bodies, but expected us to believe in your beliefs. We do our best as broken remnants, whispers of a loving past, gusts of a forgotten history, reminders of a strong lineage. We stand strong and will live on, starting to remember who we are from the rising tide and the memories and the waves washing over us. Love will bring us all redemption. Courage to live will give us back our strength. Tears will water the seeds of the future. And that's the poem. Thank you.
William, that was absolutely beautiful. Hawa, so much. Hawa, for sharing your experience, and really, truly, truly grateful for you and your work.
For all of you.
Hawa, good job. So we have with us Merle. I want to introduce Merle Williams. Merle had come with us to this women's dialogue in Bella Bella Heiltsuk territory a few years ago. And Merle has stayed right by our side. All of us that are together which are making the Council of Haida Nation are new and young. Some of us are young, just learning. And we felt such great support from our elders, Waganat and Merle, who continues to cheer us from the side and help to hold us up as we slowly work together to form the Council of Haida Nation and do the tasks as needed. And when we came back from Bella Bella, we had a series of people pass away, one after the other. And Merle really helped us to keep going, knowing that we had a lot of work in front of us. So I'd like to introduce Merle Hawa. I think you're on mute, Merle.
The camera going, but that's okay. You could see my pretty face on the picture. So I just want to say a few words before I say a prayer. I have been called upon quite a bit. I just put my name out there recently to accept the work, and I prayed to Creator for clarity. And as soon as I said that, I haven't been sitting still. So I've been very busy, and my heart goes out to all my dear relatives. And I'm just gonna cry because that's the way I feel. I think of all the ones that were really hurt, that I know of. That's my own dad, our own dad. I have to share him. I've got several siblings. So, I've been thinking about him and my aunties on his side, and Auntie Dolores, Auntie Jane, Auntie May, Auntie Julia, Auntie Dolores, you know, all my aunties on my dad's side, they all went to residential school, and it opened up so much for me, and then Creator showed me. He told me this weekend, he said, if you look at your lineage and you look at the first one you remember, and then that person had a lot of history of things happening to them. And that history went on to the next one. And then the next one. And then finally it comes to me. And my dad, luckily, was one of the ones that started working towards seeing a better life for us. So that string that goes through the beginning, the silk line that goes from each generation, that goes through each one of us, it gets stopped and tangled at the generation where there's a lot of trauma. And then if that person doesn't clear that trauma goes to the next person, the next lineage. That's why it feels like we have so much to carry, because we do. We've been silenced for far too long. We wonder why there were no stories about what happened to our father, what happened to my auntie, what happened to my dear Helen, who went missing at residential school. Her name was Helen Davidson. And there was a picture of her at Niceville on the stairs of Kokalitsa. I never heard a word about her in my growing up. And this opened it up for me this weekend to think about, where is my Auntie Helen? And so I just pray, I just think of that line. And I think of that line, and I think of how it's up to us to clear that whole line. And that's what my prayer around the world has been, to the places I've been. It's the same. The grandmothers are saying, you clean up your line and things will be better. You offer that pure, unconditional love, because love is the answer. And that's the answer at all my prayer fires that I'm searching for answers. And that's the one that keeps coming forward, is that unconditional love. We have a lot of things that we need to clean up in our lineage. We have to quit accepting the things that aren't right for our children, like the sexual abuse, the neglect. All those things we have to call on people about, but we have to take charge of it ourselves. It's not up to the ministry to do that. That's why we had our protocols in place as Aboriginal, as Haida people. We had a strong family lineage that made sure that the children were looked after. And that's what I'm speaking about today, is like just that love, that unconditional love for our kids. We have to be truthful about. And I just want to say a prayer now, just so that we can carry forward in a good way. I know that that these things are going to change, because also in my talk with Spirit on the weekend, the thing that came really clear to me was that inside of each one of us, there's a special gift. And I've witnessed this around the world, and I was sent around the world to witness this, because it's true. We work from a beam of light. Each one of us has that light in us, whether it's pink, purple, blue, yellow, white. We have this. Our people have stories. We moved mountains, and that is real. It's not stories. Those things happened. That's what scared the Christians. That's what scared the government. We got to wake that up inside ourselves. Our children are awake, coming to us awake. We have to learn how to talk to them and work with them. And that's what I do. So, Salana Glangath Kit Logan, Dee Gangela, Salana Salana, today's a good day. Creator, I just come to you with open heart, open mind, open spirit. I just want the best for my Haida people and all Indigenous people across Turtle Island who are in mourning, even into the States. All around the world, people are listening and watching us, and we want our truth to be told finally, once and for all. Allow that hatred that's been thrown at us all through our lifetime disintegrate with that pure love, that pure unconditional love that's been taught to me and my prayer circles around the world. Help bring it home, help show us the way, help guide us, keep us strong. Let us let go of the hurts, the pain, the suffering. Those 215 children are the beginning of what's to come. Creator, and just allow those families of those beautiful children, which is all of us, to just find peace and love and serenity in our lives. Allow us to move forward so we can love our children with no holding back on how we feel. Allow us to show our emotions. Allow us to be mad when we have to be with each other because we have to get through it. We have to allow those feelings to happen. We've been subdued for too long in those respects. Creator, allow us to find that voice deep within ourselves, find our light. Show us how to move those mountains once again. Help us to work together as a Haida people, no divisions. Help us to share and be love. Creator, I just ask that in your precious, precious embodiment. I just thank all the ancestors for being here so strong today. All our loved ones who stand beside us when we have those fires, when we talk to the Creator. Thank the eagles for bringing up our prayers to Spirit. Just allow us to have forgiveness in our hearts for things that don't serve us. Creator, allow us to look after Haida Gwaii the way it's supposed to be looked after. Save the last bit of trees. Stop all the things, all the unnecessary logging that's going on. We need the air. Our children need a future. Creator, I just ask that you look after each and every one of us in a good way. I thank Diane for being here and for always being there for me and helping, guiding me along the way. Creator, I just thank all the Haida people today who are online and those that are at home. Bless each of our families in a good way, giving them the hope, strength, faith, love, joy, and unconditional love. That's what I really pray for each night and every day. All my relations. Osium, Haichka. That's the Tawasan ending.
Oh, it's so much, Merle. Really appreciate that. So we'll have a song from Vern. I'm just going to check and see if there's anyone else who would like to speak at this time if you feel. Oh, so much for that Merle, and we'll here. I'd like to introduce Vern. Vern came to a circle ceremony yesterday at the fire, and I will introduce him now, and then say a few words, and then close this ceremony honoring the children.
I thank you all, for, first of all, for doing this, as there are so many people that want support, that need support, that are still afraid to utilize their voice. And as much as we want to be angry, we want to be hurt, we want to rage, but that has gotten us nothing. It has gotten us thrown in jail. It has gotten us burying ourselves. It's got us killing ourselves. And those are things we as people, through healing, can and will change that. As you see the strength of yesterday in the fire, when Lillian and Fred wanted to go sing, they wanted to go share, and there was no shame, there was no embarrassment, just that pure love that our children have, and a pure desire to be present in our culture. They shifted that energy, and that energy that we needed so we could speak clearly, speak that truth that we had without being angry, yet still carrying that rage that those of us that were taken, those of us that had no voice, those of us that were told to be quiet, that I pray you find your voice and that voice be heard as it should be. We've been told for years and years to be quiet, and that's not true. And each time as the years go by, the truth comes out. And again, that truth is in our face again, of the people that went disappearing, the people that were sent home, the people that ran away. It was a desire for the love we have as communities, we have in us as families. And again, that healing starts without any shame on us being able to voice the things that happen to us. It clears a space. And once you clear that space and there's a void, but that's when we learn self-love and being able to be there to help other people. Otherwise, there's that circle. It just goes on and on and on again. You'll heal and then you'll pull it back and it'll get crazier. You'll heal and it'll get crazier again, because we don't understand that true self-love that we have that gives us the strength to go forward without worrying about what anybody thinks of us, and having that strength and that true pride of who we are is through language and culture, medicine. Diane has taught me so much. Merle, they have given me the strength to go forward just by being in their presence. And that's what we are doing for our children. That's what we're doing for our grandchildren. And they're asking questions. And those questions we can answer truthfully so that it gives them the courage to go forward without any doubts. We had a fire today in Tahagan. The power of those young ones is so amazing and full of pure raw energy and a hunger to share what we have been teaching them. And those teachings have come from each one of our grandparents, our aunties, the little pieces that have built into a strength that we are now, and a strength that will not be stopped anymore. Our choice to heal is going to get very uncomfortable, but that uncomfortableness will make it so much better for our young ones who have so much hunger, they have so much strength and the courage to ask us those questions. And it gives us a strength because we are able to answer them. And because we are being heard again. Each and every one of us as people owe it to our children. We owe it to our future to keep being truthful, to keep stepping up, and to keep honoring our children as we say we are doing it for them. Do it through your actions, not through your words. There's not always glory that people want, but the appreciation when you look at the pride of those eyes as they're singing, as they're looking at you, they're looking at their mom, they're looking at their aunties, their nun eyes and their chin eyes with that incredible love, because they are sharing who we are. They are sharing their language, they are introducing themselves, they are singing songs, they are learning medicines, they are learning all the things that we pray they learn. And there's no price you can put on it. There's no money value you can put on it. And Reggie and I were in class, we're working on drums and we're working on seaweed, we're working on halibut, and they're talking about money. And so I started giving them prices, but I told them that there is nothing anyone could ever pay us to go in and share with them, to pass on what was passed on to us. I do what I do because there was people there that stepped up to make the learning that I carry forward possible. That they believed in me when I was in my worst. They believed in me when no one else wanted me around, especially myself. And again, when you're hearing these stories, I always like to remind people that this is my story. It's not your duty to carry it. But that healing that we can do together is by being there, supporting them and giving them the strength to keep talking and not silence them. And there is no time limit on it. Some are quicker, some are slower. And again, it's through our community support and a system that keeps being there and is offered. And it's up to us to accept that healing. And it's not always easy. So be patient with yourselves and do what you can to reach out. There is so much support out there if we go and look for it. I know it's not easy to go and ask for help, and it's even tougher accepting that help. And understand that there are people that will help, and there are no conditions other than you appreciating it and sharing it. When I go about learning things, it's with a condition that I am going to pass it on. I'm going to teach them the best of my ability of what was shown to me. And it's incredible watching these young ones as we teach them and as they pass it on as fast as we give it to them, because they're always willing to help us when we're struggling with our language or with our song. They will happily walk us through it as it should be, without any shame or any way of any recognition. And that's how we will keep getting stronger. Again, I appreciate you all doing this, and I appreciate so much all our elders that we have, all that they've left for us to give us the courage to keep going forward. Because when you're learning, it is a struggle, but the end is well worth it. It is well worth it. The song that I want to sing, well, I'm going to sing it, is one that was Monica Quigedad. She asked me to compose a song for the Bill C-31 ladies, those adopted out, the residential school survivors, or those that just didn't feel welcome at home. And we were doing a welcome feast, and that gives the people the courage to go forward. And we brought the children home so they have an understanding of who they are, who they belong to, what their crests are. Because when you're adopted out, there's such a loss that you feel misplaced. So you end up searching, you go and you travel, you're looking for something, but you don't know what it is. So really, it's such an important thing that they have an understanding of where they're from, who their family is. Because once you have that history to look back on, it gives you so much strength to go forward. And this song was composed by all the elders when we were doing Edge of the Night. And that was one of the most amazing experiences of my life, to be a part of what became an incredible village, on how we grew, how we supported each other, how we taught each other, and how we were there when we needed each other. And so we know it is possible to be what we were again, in our connection to the land, to the water, to each other, no matter where we are from on this island. because we are one people. So the words are, this is your home. Your journey is complete. I welcome you. We welcome you. I thank the Creator for this day, and that He gives us the strength to keep going forward, that He watches over all of us, that He keeps giving us the strength, or she keeps giving us the strength to go forward, to support each other, to look out for one another, and to share the love that we are created of, to give back the love that keeps us going forward, that keeps us away from the hatred that it seems we should carry, but it's the love that keeps giving us the strength to go forward in our community and our elders, and especially our young ones who will keep having that courage to push us forward, to keep giving, to keep accepting that love, and that Creator watch over all that need it, especially all the people in the area where the children are, and then the ancestors are there gathering them up, taking them home to the places they are born of, and taking them to the good place where they're free and able to be children again. Please give us the courage to keep supporting each other, and don't be afraid to reach out for help and to accept that help. And I really thank you for this day, Creator. It was a beautiful day. We are changing things, and it will get better. Hoa. And thank you all for doing this and being here and sharing your words and your songs, and your poetry was powerful. All your words were powerful, and I appreciate it. Hawa. And I love you.
Vern, Hawa, so much. That's just what we needed, and Hawa for all that you give all the time. We really, really greatly appreciate you and Merle and Guaganut and Gagwis and everyone who continues to hold us up. Thank you very much. We have posted in the chat if you need to call a helpline. I don't know if anybody does, but I think also if you could reach out to someone who's older than you that might have gone to residential school, or knows of someone that you visit and hold space today if you can. And be kind and gentle. There were 150,000 First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people that had children forced from them in this residential school system. About 4,400 children, 2,800 names were put on the banner that went to Ottawa. If we can think of all of them. And the 1,600 unnamed children. I imagine that these were part of it. These 215 were part of those. We can think of those souls and those survivors who have lost their voice, like Vern said. That we continue to hold up and speak for them. We can start by reading the Truth and Reconciliation Commission calls to action. That came from survivors. It came from survivors. It isn't somebody just trying to push a First Nations agenda or anything. It came from those beautiful survivors who had to pull together to come up with that report. So I want to say hawa to the Honorable Murray St. Clair for his work there, to the Aboriginal Healing Foundation, who did a lot of work here through Nystil Society in Old Masset and Skidegate. I know the hospital in Charlotte has Nystil in its name, but there was a Nystil Society that was really working hard on residential school survivors here, and people who worked on that banner and then for that as well. Really want to thank them. We could reach out and hold space for each other. How everybody for joining us today here on honoring those souls.